Good afternoon. Welcome to LAT's weekly market insights. Yesterday, we had plenty of noise out of the US Fed, with Fed Chair Powell suggesting that an interest rate hike is only on the cards once the US have held a 2% inflation rate for a year at least. This suggests a hike would not be implemented until probably early 2023. This dovish sentiment has boosted the S&P 500, reaching all-time highs once again after surpassing the 4,000 level a few days back. With dovish sentiment comes a weakening of a currency. Therefore, we would have expected cable to have moved up. However, we clearly see that this week cable has dropped off. This suggests that even though there's a potential weaker dollar, the pound is even weaker still, and therefore we must try and understand why. Probably on the back of a compound of issues of the AstraZeneca vaccine, suggesting that there are blood clots associated to that, and therefore our move out of this COVID lockdown might be a bit more of a difficult one. Also, there's less likelihood of under 30s getting the jab sooner rather than later. Therefore, sterling has fallen. We've also seen a bit of unrest in Northern Ireland regarding the terms and conditions around our Brexit leave policies, and therefore this might stall it, and therefore we've seen another bit of weakening towards pound. In cable, we've seen overbought regions in this RSI at these highs. We did get bearish divergence as well, so technicals were in line with this fundamental move to the downside. However, I think the better opportunity was here in sterling yen. You can see that there we did have a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern in this little uptrend. Rising wedge, we also had that accompanied by bearish divergence here on this RSI. So break to the downside, there are plenty of potential lows to have sold through. Stop loss up here, right up the highs, but then looking to get back in it again was a little bit tricky. But in a smaller time frame, the general sentiment is that of selling off the pound, so shorts would have a higher probability of success than longs. If we jumped into a much smaller time frame, it's a nice intraday trade from yesterday. We can see here. So we had a big move down. Early doors in the morning yesterday, and a little retracement up to this level. Now, to identify an ideal retracement, we might look to implement something like a Fibonacci retracement here. And ideally, we're looking for a 61.8 retracement, and you can clearly see there, this level did retrace back up to the 61 perfectly, rejected it in the form of a spinning top. Clear indecision at that level. Here we had a little shooting star showing a rejection off that level again. We also had the formation of a bearish reversal price pattern. Some of you may recognize this. This is known as a head and shoulders. Bit of a complex because we've got a bit of a double shoulder going on here to here. There's our head being the highest point, second shoulder. Now, a very nice entry here would have been through the break of this neckline. And you can see you could have chosen to place a stop loss above the shoulder, which is the standard, but in my opinion, we could have gone above the high here. It's a little bit further, but a much safer of a stop loss. Target, you could have taken the MPO of the price pattern, but for me, I think we're going with the major trend here. So these sorts of lows potentially, however, I'd tend to take the more conservative level and target something like that, and that would have been the position. Nice 1.61, but in line with the major trend, fundamentals were there, waited for the pullback, ideal pullback, technical setup, and away we went. So week ahead next week, we'll just have a quick look here. Pop it into next week. Having a look, anything major, nothing too much throughout the start of the week. You can see here a bit of CPI data on the Tuesday. We've got a little bit out of New Zealand, the Kiwi rate coming out early doors Wednesday, bit of Aussie data as well. Retail sales out US on Thursday. GDP out of China could be rather relevant, so keep an eye on that. Early doors on Friday, but other than that, pretty quiet data-wise throughout next week. I do wish you a lovely weekend. Stay safe, and we'll catch up next week. Take care. Bye for now.